on the 20th of July, 1969, that Neil Armstrong uttered those famous words, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." I recently learned that he actually meant to say, "A small step for a man, giant leap for mankind." And you know, that quote has always intrigued me. I've always wondered, how is it that the actions of one person can impact generations, can impact thousands and millions of others? And actually, as we look throughout history, we can see that pattern emerging. One small act of defiance from someone not wanting to give up their seat on a bus led to the movement which Martin Luther King spearheaded. We see incredible acts throughout history happening because of small steps taken by individuals. And we see great moments of significance come about as a result. You know, that's what I think has spurred us on at Treasure Seekers, is the concept of significance. When we try and pursue significance, small acts really make a difference. We can achieve significance. Significance being impacting other people, changing the world around you. Significance is far greater than success. Success is about what you can get and is about what's good for you. Significance is about what you can do for others and about the legacy that you leave. Now, for me and my husband, that's what's really spurred us on in our journey of creating and setting up a social enterprise along with my mum and others as well. We wanted to create something that would be significant, that would impact the lives of others. And I would love to be able to say that we did it through lots of really, really great things, lots of big acts, that we got some really big investors involved, and we did some high-profile stuff. Actually, we started with those small steps. We founded Kingfisher Treasure Seekers in 2012, and we had a vision to set up an organisation that would support the disadvantaged and the vulnerable. And initially, we had a vision to set up a retail environment where people could gain valuable work experience so that they no longer had the barrier of trying to apply for work and people saying, "Well, you haven't got experience." And they're saying, "But I can't get experience because no one will give me a job." So we thought we could break that cycle. And so my husband went out and started selling things on market stalls. In the middle of winter, in the summer, he'd be out there on market stalls selling things, taking volunteers with him to give them an experience of retail. And you know, for us, this idea was a bit like a mustard seed. For us, it felt small, it felt insignificant, it felt like we weren't making a difference. For us, it felt like we were making the smallest of steps, that we were trying to achieve something that was far bigger than we could even imagine at the time. And we felt just like the mustard seed, which is one of the smallest of all seeds. To look at, it's not a lot. But we persevered. And we learnt a lot, and we grew a lot. We learned what products sell. What do people like buying? We learnt how best to work alongside the vulnerable adults that we were working with. And most heartening of all, we're seeing lives already start to change. We're seeing people starting to realise that they could take their place in community life, that they had got something to offer, they had got something to give. We, not long after that, managed to get some investment so that we could open up a retail shop in Gloucester, giving a better quality work experience for people that we were working alongside, which was fantastic. And from there, we've grown and grown and grown. You know, fast forward 5 years today, we've just taken on our third building. We have over 20 members of staff. We work with thousands of people each year. But it's all started with small steps. Small steps wanting to do something significant. And with every small step, we have seen the lives being changed. You know, when we first opened our shop in Gloucester, we had people in tears on the phone saying that they never thought they would get this opportunity to have a work experience placement. For us, what we felt was an insignificant drop in the ocean of need that we could see. Actually, to them, it utterly changed their lives. For us, we felt like we weren't achieving very much at all. For them, life would never be the same again. That's the difference between success and significance. Success measures achievement by what you get out of it. Significant measures achievement by what others get out of it. And in our journey, we have seen so many moments of significance. But I wanted to share to you tonight one particular moment, one particular journey that inspires me. Inspires me to want to do more and to be better. And that was our experience of setting up our coffee shop called the Cavern. A few years ago, we bought a building in Gloucester city centre, and it had a basement that no one would venture into. It was damp, it was dank, it was horrible, it smelt, you could smell it probably from about 3 streets away. It was awful. We were toying with using it for storage, but, you know, it probably wasn't even good enough for that. So we ignored it. We shut the door, we locked it away, thought we'll touch that another time. And one day, we were talking to a group of young people who were sharing about how they had nowhere to go, sharing their frustrations, that there was nowhere available for them to go of an evening, of a day in Gloucester. And somehow we ended up showing them the dreaded basement. And this group of young people absolutely fell in love with it. They saw the potential in this space. I mean, that picture looks pretty decent compared to what it was. You're not getting the smell. They saw it, fell in love with it. They had a glimmer of an idea, this mustard seed of an idea that something could happen. They didn't know what, we didn't know what. So we said to them and groups of others, well, if you will come and help us, we'll see what we can do. So twice a week, groups of us would get together and take our small steps. We would pull rotting rubble off of the wall. We would scrub floors. It was an old bar, so it had beer cables going through it with stale beer that had been in there for years and years and years. And we removed those, drenching ourselves in the process. We did all sorts of things, taking our small steps together. And you know, what's even more exciting about seeing throughout history people taking small steps individually is people taking small steps together. Because what you can achieve is incredible. For us, What those small steps together meant was we opened one of the coolest coffee shops, I think, in Gloucester, called the Cavern, which offers work experience again to vulnerable and disadvantaged people. It offers a safe place for young people to go. It offers a safe place for vulnerable adults to go. It is something that for the people using it is a giant leap. It's having a significant impact in their lives. What has inspired me through the Cavern is seeing how the actions of, we had a 15-year-old lad who used to come every single week and often just wire brush walls for hours on end, getting them ready to be worked on. You know, his small step has led to an out-of-hours mental health drop-in from being able to be opened in this coffee shop, which now sees almost 2,000 people a month who are struggling with mental health problems, ranging from feeling suicidal to anxiety to depression, even paranoid schizophrenia. This mental health support has stopped people from going to A&E, has stopped people from being arrested. And that was all possible because of the small step that this young man took. And because of the small steps that the team collectively took. It was small steps for us, but it's been a giant leap for the mental health support and well-being for people in Gloucester. There are so many stories of people taking small steps leading to amazing things happening. But I just wanted to share that for us, chasing success might be good for us in the organisation. We might be able to tick our boxes and show that we are achieving maybe what we think we need to show, that we are serving a certain number of people, that we're changing a certain number of lives. But you know, that doesn't lead to significance. That doesn't lead to the giant leaps for people that we're working with. What does is those small acts. Those small times, even when we take those small ideas that we think could become something, we'll never know until we take the first step. We'll never know what could be unless we're willing to step out and take that step. Yeah, I wonder, you know, for me, I often wonder what other ideas do I have that maybe I'm a bit worried about taking that first step because the end goal seems far too big. Well, you know what they say about mountains, they're never going to get any closer until you start walking towards them. And it's the same with us. It's the same with our dreams. It's the same with those thoughts that we've had about what could be possible, what could we do. And you know, if you can take those steps with others who've got the same vision, the same goal, anything can be possible. One lady that we've been working with who has been hugely impacted by this work, she was arrested almost 27 times in a 18-month period. In A&E most weeks, no hope, no family, about to be evicted, about to lose everything, about to be on the streets, on their own, with no support, and most likely end up in prison. What saved her was people sitting and having a coffee, people being willing to take small steps. It wasn't anything dramatic. It wasn't anything that only the professionals could do. It was everyday people saying, we will take those small steps with you. It was having the environment created by a passionate group of people who only had a very small idea, but it became something much bigger than them. So I wonder, what could we do? What potential have we got in this room now? What potential have we all got to do something of great significance? Put success to one side, pursue significance instead. Don't wait for the big opportunities. Don't wait for the big things to come in life. Take whatever small step you've got right now and watch the world change around you. Thank you.